Let's give you the markets update now. The JSE looking set to start a shaky session and markets under pressure as investors consider a deteriorating outlook for the global economy. The debt crisis of Chinese property group, the Evergrande, that's the Chinese regulatory intervention, as well as the U.S. political wrangling over the raising the debt ceiling. There are major risks being watched by investors. Carmen Mpelwane is equity analyst at Absa Asset Management, and she joins us now to try and make sense of the market sentiment this morning. Carmen, good morning to you. The Rand extending losses yesterday, with the currency losing about 16 cents since Friday. What is driving these sentiments, and have the losses eased in early trade?
Good morning. Yes, as you've mentioned, the key concern is around the energy crisis that's currently occurring in Europe as well as in Asia, and concern that there may be a spillover into the US as well. We're also seeing our treasury yields here in South Africa rising, and there's been lots of concern around that. And then, as you've lastly mentioned, around Evergrande. So we saw the Rand end off at close of day yesterday at 15 Rand and 11 cents, but we've seen it strengthening up in this morning, reaching just about 15 Rand and 4 cents. And that's largely driven, I think, off the S&P improving their outlook for SA GDP and increasing it to 4.6% from a previous 4.2%.
Let's talk about that Chinese company, or should I say Chinese Evergrande Group's credit rating. It has been cut by Fitch to C from CC. That is one notch above the equivalent default level. Talk us through those developments for a bit.
So it seems to be that Fitch has it's come to their attention that Evergrande has missed a bond coupon payment on the 23rd of September in the amount of about $85 million. Not a lot of news around it, but it seems that some of the bondholders have notified or announced that they have not received any payment. And then further, there's another payment expected today of about, I think, $35 million. So there's been lots of concern about whether there's going to be a significant default, and hence Fitch has taken the decision. However, we've seen this morning an announcement come out that there is likely to be an effective bailout. But it's structured as an acquisition by a Chinese SOE to purchase a large portion of some assets of Evergrande. And this is to enable Evergrande to receive a acquisition payment of about $1.55 billion US.
Yeah. Let's talk company news for a moment. Brewing and beverage company Distell publishing a voluntary update and a further cautionary announcement. How are they faring in the period under review?
Yeah, so this morning the share price looks to be up about 94 bips at last check. Not much new in the voluntary statement. I think it's more so surrounding the fact that there remain some issues that need to be decided on or agreed upon between the two parties. But they had indicated at their last announcement that we would expect a final announcement about this transaction by end of quarter, which we know is tomorrow. So they have said they're still expected to meet the deadline, but there are still certain points that need to be agreed upon.
Yeah. Let's also talk about Naspers, which is considering making COVID-19 vaccines mandatory for its South African staff. Is this the way to go for corporate South Africa? Is it likely to move this way going forward, in your view?
Yeah, it's a very controversial topic. We've seen what's happened in the Northern Hemisphere, where a lot of companies have come out and mandated both on a political level, but also on a corporate level to say that, you know, in order to come back to work and to get back to normal life, you need to prove that you've been vaccinated. We've seen Discovery do this so far in South Africa. We've seen Sanlam do it as well. There's a lot of viewpoints around whether this actually is allowed under the Constitution, but that remains to be seen and to be tested yet. I believe that Naspers is likely going to follow in Discovery and Sanlam's footsteps, though.
Yeah, let's conclude the conversation, Carmen, with a discussion about Zimbabwe's central bank, which has ordered its banks to freeze the bank accounts of, bank accounts for 2 years for about 30 people who are accused of promoting and facilitating illegal foreign currency trading. What is happening there?
Yeah, so we know that Zimbabwe has now taken on its own currency for the last 2 or 3 years. However, we've seen significant weakness in the currency, and therefore the black market has been prolific, where we've seen a dollarized premium of up to 100%. And this has fueled a lot of the illegal forex trading as well as money laundering, which appears to have taken place via WhatsApp, number one, and social media. So the central bank has taken these significant steps to actually prohibit these parties, as you mentioned, 30 of them on the list so far, to freeze those accounts. And we've also seen the telcos companies come out and say that for them, they're actually going to disallow these parties to be able to actually use the mobile phone platform as well. So a very strong and influential movement all around.
Carmen Mpelwane, thank you very much for that markets update. She's an equity analyst at Absa Asset Management.